Okay, welcome to my first attempt of a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Quetzal. So, Quetzal is an enhancement hack. It has all 9 generations of Pokemon, it has overworld encounters, it has a ton of quality of life features, and it's based on my favorite Pokemon game, which is Emerald. So, nothing crazy for the beginning, except for this mirror situation with May, which you're gonna see throughout the story. When it comes to starter selection, we have basically every starter, but we also have extra Pokemon from each generation, and I decided to go with a Hone Edge because I like Aegislash, and having a Ghost type in the early game with all of the normal types is pretty cracked. So we start off with 10 Pokeballs, so the run is going immediately. Now with overworld encounters, I decide to just run towards the grass and run back and forth as fast as I can until I encounter something, which turns out to be a Bunnelby first. Bunnelby's cool. It's a ground type instead of like a Zigzagoon or a Sentret or something, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm giving myself the rare candies here, and then I'm going to level up to level 8, which is within my level cap for the first gym. And then I'm going to go get my second encounter. Again, I run away from the grass, I run in, and I end up with Starly, which is pretty good. So first May fight. I don't know if choosing starters changes the starters that she gets. Having Swords Dance early game is crazy too. So we knock that out. Our next encounter is a Grubbin, which, whatever, is fine. And then we get into the catching tutorial, and something is a little different. It's a little different here. I'm not sure why we use False Swipe twice. I think maybe it's just trying to showcase that it never kills. But yeah, I thought that was a cute touch. So this is the first trainer of the game that is a little bit different. And this is a level 7 Galarian Meowth, which, is fine, it's whatever. She only has 1 Pokemon. But then we use a full restore, which is pretty strong, right? So I'm playing the game on, quote, normal difficulty. And I would consider this trainer to be like a little bump in difficulty. So I'm not sure what to expect from the game at this point. Now, here's the bug trainer. We just went from the level 7 with the full restore, and now we just have a full party of level 3 bugs. No cool moves, no items, no gimmicks. So, to me, the game seems a little inconsistent with the challenge. I guess not everything has to be a challenge. But then we get into the Aqua Grunt, and he's just a level 9 Marini, which, we can knock out. I start to get a little low here, and I stay in because I'm bold. The God encounter. This Machop, dude, pulls me through so much of this run. So we pick up Machop. Now, in the first gym on very hard difficulty, or not very hard, hard difficulty, Roxanne has an Aerodactyl at level 17 with Thunderfang, Wing Attack, and Bulldoze, which is just crazy. We just completely body this Cranidos, so Machop's good there. You can skip the rest of the trainers, so I just go straight to Roxanne. And again, we're playing on normal difficulty, so we'll see what kind of comes of this. So two low kicks would have killed, but she does use a potion, so we knock that out. Haven't taken any damage yet. Aerodactyl comes out. This Aerodactyl is only level 15, and it just kind of wastes its turns. So, and I don't know why I outsped it. That's pretty crazy to me. And then, yeah, just finish off with Rockruff, 1 Karate Chop. So Roxanne was like a joke. She was very easy. So at this point, I'm thinking, do I want to reset and play on a harder difficulty? But then the Roxanne from hard was so impossible with the Pokemon that I had that I feel like doing an achievable run is going to be more interesting to watch than just me failing over and over again. And I do want to just finish a Nuzlocke because I've never finished one. Here's another crazy encounter, by the way. This Makuhita and the resulting Hariyama is just unstoppable in this run. So the number one convenience feature of this game is you can go into the menu, into miscellaneous, into cheats, and you can go into utilities, and you can do things like fly and like change like status flags and things like that, but you can also heal your party. So instead of running all the way back to the Pokemon Center, which you could do, you can just heal on the spot and be ready for the next battle, which Nuzlocking is so cool. Scraggy we're not too worried about. We just wing attack it. And then, what's out next? Hawlucha. I was not expecting Hawlucha, and I feel like I have to do something to switch it up. So I switch, I almost lose Grubbin to Aerial Ace. I switched here, but I'm not sure how much damage I'm going to do, so I tried a Metal Sound, thinking that I'll use a special attack on Wishy Washy to kill it. But that doesn't seem to be working, so I go to Swords Dancing, and my attacks just don't do a lot of damage, and he roosts. So now I know I'm gonna get outstalled by this thing. So I go back to the Metal Sounding, hit it a few more times, let my health come way too low, and then on the switch in, I take an Aerial Ace all the way down to 8 HP. So I'm thinking it might be over here, just because of this Hawlucha. He just is hitting things so hard on the switch in that I don't know what to do. So I don't know why I went back into him. That's crazy. I'm risking everything right now. But it turns out that after an Intimidate and just a wing attack, I get a super lucky crit and I end up taking it out. So I probably should have just stayed in the first place and not let it hit my team. So I go for a wing attack and counter. So that's the first death of the run. Was my bird, which, you know, is whatever, I guess. And then what do? We Karate Chop for the win. So that's the second gem in a row that has been won by Machop. Pretty sick. We get an evolution. I feel like Diggersby is really strong to have this early in the game. He is kind of missing a good ground move. And then we pick up a Blitzel, which I'm not super excited about, but then ends up being really good, so that's good. And then Magikarp. Now, Magikarp is like God tier in Nuzlocke normally, but when I evolve it, it just gets no good moves in this game. So I don't really know why. Maybe it's just a level thing. But we go into Watson's gym. And the Pokemon spam charge a lot, which kind of wastes their turn. Because they boost their special attack, but I'm not using like a ton of special attacks anyway. And they don't then use an electric attack that would benefit them using charge. So I guess they kind of just throw, honestly, which is, again, really inconsistent difficulty-wise. Rotom is a little bit of a... yeah, the Uproar really takes me down. Living on legit 1 HP. But since I know he's locked into Uproar, I can switch safely. Get a Sword Stance off, and then Shadow Sneak a couple times. Yeah, and I don't miss, so... Now, confused, and he's double-teamed. Pretty crazy. Super Potions. Super annoying. This would be a nice time for a crit. But I hit through every confusion and double team. So just super good RNG on the Rotom. Now here's where they start introducing megas in the gyms. Intimidates me. I'm confused. I get off a Swords Dance, which is crazy. I Shadow Sneak again through confusion for almost a one-shot. I snap out of confusion. Super bold of me to go for that with him having Bite. And I just two-shot him. So I think looking back, I was way luckier in this gym than I gave myself credit for. Like, my play was not great, but my RNG was amazing. And then we Shadow Sneak the Emolga. I definitely deserved to lose this Hone Edge in that fight. And the fight before, honestly, in the last gym. Hariyama. I love Hariyama. He's named Fat Boy. And here, I thought maybe I was running into Keldeo. It turns out I got a shiny Ponyta. Now, you can customize the settings of this game to have higher than normal shiny odds, but I did not select that option. So that is a full odds shiny on my first run, which is pretty cool. Again, like, I've got Splash, Bite, very little on this Gyarados, so I just kind of bite everything to death. I get Swaggered. They use a ton of confusion moves. Especially like all the Magma Grunts use Swagger. I get pretty close to losing Gyarados here. I do have a Torkoal, who, like, whatever, his moves aren't very good either. And he doesn't have Drought, which is, you know, upsetting, but he does the job. Confusion. Now this Torkoal is a problem. It can really run away on you. I've had that in a couple of runs be my downfall. I do a little bit of damage. He's cursing, and I kind of figured he might just throw and curse the entire time. But we lose Elekid here. And I think I'm fast enough. I live one Flame Wheel. This horse, this zebra, is so close to death at all times. But he's clutched out a couple of good wins for us. Now, we're not in the sun or anything, so Brine should do some pretty good damage. We get Swaggered again. Hit through, lucky. Hurt myself in confusion. And then he roars me out to Gyarados, who has literally Tackle and Bite. Swaggers me again. The Tackle kills it. So again, pretty lucky. And that's just the first Pokemon, so I hit through confusion for... do I switch? I switch because of the confusion. And take a crit, almost lose Torkoal here, which is crazy. And now we have Camerupt. And since this is kind of a boss trainer, it's, of course, a Mega Camerupt. I like Mega Camerupt. He's pretty cool. I think it's cool that Camerupt got a Mega. But I don't know what I'm going to do here. So I just start biting. I flinch twice. I barely live. And I decide to play it safe and switch, which is pretty good because he super potions. And a crit takes it out. So, yeah, really good RNG this run, honestly. The challenge level so far, again, remains really inconsistent. We get a couple of evolutions, which is cool. Machoke is badass. I really like his sprite in this game. And then we're going to fast forward all the way to Flannery. And we have the sun, but it's not permanent sun in this game. It's the modern mechanic. So, again, we have Cursing Torkoal in the sun, which is pretty scary. But I think he just keeps cursing, honestly. And Brine is enough, so that kind of avoids that. Even in the sun, it's enough. Of course, we know what this is going to be. Houndumanite is the funniest name for an item in any game. We are very close. I think my plan is to fake out here to finish it off. But then it heals, so we just go into... we get flinched. That's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, Force Palm's enough, so We kind of breezed through Flannery, too. I don't think I was super lucky on Flannery. A little bit. A little bit of luck on Flannery, but we did okay at this fight. Norman's Gem. Okay, so this is the confusion room. Oh, no. I can't remember which room this is. It won't... Oh, it's the accuracy room. So I thought maybe there'd be some accuracy lowering moves, but it's literally just a 26 Meowth that uses Feint Attack, which I guess is the one that doesn't miss. So that's the accuracy. Super lame. Like, can't believe that. And each of those gym trainers in the fight leading up to Norman only have one Pokemon each, which is nuts. My Norman team is not looking super hot, but Sag is kind of pulling us through here. It's just really good. So, Obstagoon. Now, in subsequent runs, Obstagoon has given me a ton of trouble. He does kill Sag, which is unfortunate. But having a fighting type here makes it pretty easy. So, we kind of got a little greedy. Now my electric type's gone, and I have a strong flying type out in front of me, which is unfortunate. I can't shadow sneak him. So I just sword stance up. I automatize to get my speed up, which doesn't seem to really help me that much. And a lot of my health is used up by the time strap. So now it's Kangaskhan. Mega Kangaskhan, which is fine. Huge mistake here. I realize it can't hit me. He's healing, and I think this is cheap. Let me switch and make the fight a little more interesting. Because I don't want to win cheap. And I switch into Fat Boy. Mega Punch kills one of my best Pokemon. That is a 2-death Norman, which honestly, if I just stayed in and played optimally, would have been completely free. So I do not make that mistake again. In future runs, I will always play boring if it means I'm playing safe. So all the way to Weather Institute, Admin Shelly just has a Clobopus. I learned Dual Chop on Machoke, so I've been using that to pretty good effect. Clobopus is pretty easy, and then it's just Cabrawler, which just seems, again, inconsistent. We got Megas, we got all these hard trainers, and then we have what is kind of a boss fight, and like nothing goes on. Now, I did not remember this May fight, so I was not prepared for it, and I lead a fighting type into a bug flying type. Dual Chop does a lot of damage, but I'm pretty low, so I switch, and we get a Silverwind boost. I think I Shadow Sneak here, wouldn't I? No, I Aerial Ace. But I'm down 2 Pokemon now. I can't use either of these Pokemon. And we go into Wartortle. So, it's basically a 4v5 right now. And Wartortle is doing, what is that, 13 damage with a Water Pulse? Not very effective. I dive, which does pretty good damage. So I figure I'll keep doing that. And I dive, and they switch into Ivysaur. In games that I played before, they don't switch very often, so that was like kind of a throw to me, like it threw me off. But it's okay. I can Flame Charge. We're not switching again, and he's not doing too much damage to me, so I get a chance to boost my speed a little bit and wait for the next thing to come in. And it's Wartortle. So I decide I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to do the same thing again, which is fine. That's not a bad plan. But the damage is really stacking up. And again, I'm basically down another Pokemon now. I could lose Flay here. He hits through Confusion instead of hitting himself, which would have killed him. So again, super good RNG, but now I'm down again another Pokemon. Munchlax comes out, and Body Slam just decimates Bug. I switch to Mana, another Body Slam basically takes me out. I'm moonlighting to see if I can out-heal it, and it just one-shots me again. So that's one down, and I fear that it's over at this point. I do kill the Munchlax, and they only have 2 left, but it's Combuskin. Now, the issue with Combuskin is that it does pretty good damage and it has speed boost, which wouldn't be that bad because I have a priority attack, except he also has a priority attack. And with all of the speed boosts, that means he can outspeed everything. He can't use the quick attack on him, but he has Ember, and he just lives, and not Ember, he uses Flame Charge and kills my starter. And at this point, looking at the team, he can quick attack every single Pokemon for enough damage to kill. And this is the end of the run. He styles on me with a fire type move on my water type just to rub it in. But yeah, he outspeeds and wipes me. Wiping to a random May fight after dealing with all of these Megas and all of these gyms. So that is the story of my first Pokemon Quetzal hardcore Nuzlocke attempt. If you enjoyed, keep watching the channel, and I'll have my final attempt up soon.